My wife hates when I play the sound of my PS4 turning on. Why do women hate video games? I think that's more of an important question than a lot of other questions out there. Why do women, I've heard this so many times, that men play video games and women hate it when men play video games. Why is that? Why are women such vibe killers? I don't know why. I think men like to play games because men are more imaginative. Men have imaginations more. They have more deep imaginations. And so video games sort of appeal to our imagination. I don't know. Attention, yeah. And so I think women are jealous of men because men are more easily content. Men could look at a room and see a mattress on the floor and a TV next to it with a game console connected to it, and men could just say, "Yeah, this is great. I lucked out. My girlfriend loves video games." Oh, you're lucky. See, I used to think that all the women streamers were just attention whores. I used to believe that. I thought the only reason why those girls are streaming is because they want attention from men, and I think that is the case for some of them, no doubt. You can always tell because of the way they dress. They dress up very provocatively, but you have a lot of streams on YouTube and on Twitch of just a bunch of women playing games, and they're not provocative. They're not dressing up provocatively, and a lot of them have no views, little to no views. I saw this one YouTube recommended to me this one channel some days ago, and it was a girl, just a plain Jane girl, dressed up very normally, just playing Resident Evil. She was playing the RE2 remake, I believe, and she was just playing Resident Evil. There was no skimpy outfit, none of that. It was just all you could see. I mean, from her camera view was just her face and some of her upper body, and that was it. There was no scantily clothed, there was no scanty outfits or anything like that. And I'm thinking, okay, this is just a chick who likes to play games. There's girls out there who are like dudes. They like to play games just like dudes like to play games, and they just want to play a damn game. That's it. And I can't blame them. Plain and simple, women want their man. They want to have their man to be focused on the family and them. It drives them nuts when they see their man entertaining himself. Yeah, I know, it sucks, right? I'm friends with a female YouTuber / streamer. She does it because she likes it. She also interacts with the chat. Too bad she's a bit schizophrenic. That's too bad. Oh, by the way, this girl that I saw playing games live, she had 12 listeners, 12 people, and I was the 12th one. Because YouTube said, "Hey, check out this page," and I clicked on it, and it was just this girl, this regular chick, just playing her RE2, and I was her 12th viewer, and there was one dude. It's pretty sad. I'm not gonna lie. One dude just spamming her chat. Oh my god, dude, it was so dumb. Dude's probably Indian. It's just this guy spamming the shit out of her chat, just writing send, and he's just entered. Because she has no one else commenting, so she's just like basically having a conversation with. I'm not sure if she was actually replying. I'm assuming she was making some kind of reply to this person, but I'm thinking this is probably some lonely ass Indian dude who's like, "Hello, hi, like to play the game," just spamming the hell out of her chat. I'm thinking, man, that is so sad. Imagine just having 12 people watching you, and there's only one dude writing on the chat. Oh, that sucks. That's internet depression right there. Too many games today just look gay. I agree. They look very gay. All these games. I don't like games that are too bright. If the game looks too bright, I won't buy it. The first game I really got into was Super Smash Brothers for the Nintendo 64. And then I got Smash Brothers for GameCube. And now I have Smash Brothers for the Nintendo Switch. And I hear there's going to be another Resident Evil game, and it's going to come out for the Nintendo Switch. So I have the Switch ready to go. Kingdom Come Deliverance. I did not play that. Minecraft. I have never played Minecraft. It doesn't look interesting at all. Minecraft looks cheap and ugly, and I just never really saw the appeal of that game. But hey, if you like it, good for you. I never got into any of the Minecraft games. Never got into World of Warcraft. I did play World of Warcraft. I did try it out. I gave it a chance. And I'm just thinking, hot damn, World of Warcraft. Oh my god, dude. This game looks so old and decrepit. That game looks so outdated. It does. World of Warcraft, it looks like an absolutely outdated ass game. The graphics are garbage. It looks so. When I see World of Warcraft, this is what I'm picturing. I'm picturing a guy in his room with no shoes on and no socks on. Now, no shoes is fine, but no socks, walking around barefoot. I don't know. There's something about that. It just doesn't fit right with me. But I'm thinking of I'm just imagining some guy with no socks on, and he's sitting there in his room, and it's like 4:30 p.m. or worse. It's like 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. and the sun is blazing hot outside, and there's like a bunch of garbage processed food around the computer, and he's staring at a screen and he's watching some dragon move around like this with the lousy graphics. I'm thinking, what is the appeal of this game, World of Warcraft? It just looks so outdated. There's nothing fun about World of Warcraft. I played World of Warcraft. I bought a subscription for $15 a month, and I got the damn game. I got the subscription to play the game, and I just walked around the world. It was a vanilla WoW. It was vanilla WoW, and okay, sometimes being barefoot is fine, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? It was vanilla WoW, and I was walking around the world, and the only fun I had with WoW was the music is really good. I'll give it that. The OST, the sound score for WoW, very good. It really is. They have a beautiful sound score. The missions are whatever. The quests are whatever. The graphics are just garbage. I don't know what the graphics look like. They came out from 2003, and they never updated. The one thing I will say that I liked about WoW was the ease in which you meet people. I talked to random ass people in WoW, and I spent a lot of my time. Not a lot, but I spent some of my time, a good chunk of my time, talking to random people. And what I did was I got myself into the European server, and then I just talked to random people. And I was up at like 2 or 3 in the morning talking to some random dudes in WoW. And I was talking to this guy. He was Dutch. And I asked him, I said, what part of Europe are you from? He said, I live in the Netherlands, and yada, yada, yada. And he said, where do you live? And I said, I live in America. He said, you're American. We talked back and forth for a while. And he said, the problem with America is you have too many damn Christians. That's what he told me. He said, problem with America, you got too many Christians in your society. I'm like, hot damn, dude, you Europeans, what are you, like Stalinist all of a sudden? You got a lot of anti-Christian people over there. It's a little bit too militantly anti-Christian for me. Elden Ring is a work of art. The music is beautiful, dude. The game, like, I despise some aspects of Elden Ring, but the music, it's a work of art. The graphic design, the art design of Elden Ring, it's beautiful. Elden Ring is a work of art. It really is. And the story is really interesting too. The lore and everything is really interesting. And I like how you go through the world and you can explore, and then you can find all of these like relics and weapons, and everything that you collect gives you a clue of the lore, the background story of the whole world of Elden Ring. But what I hate about Elden Ring is the gameplay. I hate the freaking gameplay, dude. I'm still stuck in this Godskin duo battle boss fight, and for the life of me, I cannot beat it. I get my ass kicked every single time, and I've had that damn game for almost 2 years, and to this day, I can't beat it. I played RE4, I've been playing Bannerlord, great games, Total War Medieval 2, great games, but I'm still stuck on Elden Ring. I have not beat, and they released a trailer today on a new Elden Ring game. You believe that? I'm thinking I haven't even beat the first one yet. Give me a... And if I can beat the first one, then I'll get the second one. But until then, I'm just stuck with this game. Colonialism for common knowledge. Let's see, the rest of us just tune in to the Friday night stream. That's right. That's why I'm here for. You're active as a YouTube channel? I didn't know that. I'll check it out. They're putting their neck on the line and said, nope. I managed to create a pine forest lookalike in nanoscale out of pure antimony. It's amazing how people whose first language is not English can speak better English than we do. But again, the word antimony, is that really an English word? The English language has been so bastardized with all these made-up Latin-based words. It's like, what's the point? You know what I mean? Like, I think English is a beautiful language if you keep it English. And what I mean by that is that there's way too many made-up words in the English language. Like, the English language is huge. I don't know how many words are in English. It's like 1 million words in the English language. Am I wrong about that? How many words are in English? It's like 1 million words, right? How many words? Roughly 1 million words. And how many of us know 1 million words? None of us do, right? None of us have 1 million words in our vocabulary. But there's so many words in the English language that are just made up. And they're all Latin-based. Epistemological, etymological, phenomenological. Like, what's the point of all these freaking words? These words are used to muddy the waters. That's it. It's like, well, there's a phenomenological blah, blah, blah aspect of it. It's like, what does that mean? And these words have 1 million different definitions. Maybe I'm just naive. I don't know. But when you one thing I love about the game Elden Ring is that it uses mainly real English words. If you play the game Elden Ring, most of the words that are used in Elden Ring are Anglo-Saxon-based words, and they sound beautiful. And the English language in the Elden Ring game sounds gorgeous. I love it. Like I said, Elden Ring is a work of art. I hate the fact that the bosses are not really fun to... Some of the bosses are fun, don't get me wrong. The Tree Sentinel Knight in the beginning of the game, love it. The dual Tree Sentinel Knights, when you try to go into Leyndell, oh, that's fun. Great battle, great boss fight. I love fighting the human-looking bosses. When you fight Margit, great boss fight. But when you start getting into that Godskin duo thing, that is an absolute pain in the ass, and I just can't get through it. And I've watched a whole bunch of videos on how to do it, and I just can't do it. And yeah, that's the one thing that I don't like about Elden Ring. But other than that, I mean, it's a beautiful looking game, and like I said, the soundtrack, the sound score, the OST of Elden Ring is unbelievably good. It's so damn good, guys. Resident Evil, the recent Resident Evil games have amazing soundtracks. I love game soundtracks. Love game sound scores. Did you go into the underground areas? Yeah, I went into some of the underground cities in Elden Ring. I wasn't too crazy about them. I don't like those areas in Elden Ring. When you go underneath the earth and there's a glowy world, I forgot what it's called, but there's like some people with bull's horns that walk around. I freaking hate those. I don't like that area. There's nothing interesting about it. English words ending in tion are most of the time etymologically Latin. Yeah. And really, if a word ends with e, usually it's a Norman-based word or a Latin-based word. And then if it doesn't have an e in the end, almost always it's an Anglo-Saxon-based word. I heard Shakespeare invented 1,700 words. Hot damn. I wish I could have that liberty. I wish I could have the liberty of making up words and then people will accept them because they think I'm something special. I wish I had that kind of power. I'm just going to make up a word. Okay, yeah, we'll write that down in the dictionary. Kingdom Come has a great soundtrack. I'll check that out. A trailer for a new Mafia game has also dropped. I did not know that. I have not seen the new Elden Ring trailer. I don't want to see it because I haven't even beat the first one yet. Once I beat the first one, and that's going to be years from now. And by then, the new Elden Ring, this Elden Ring 2 will be super cheap. It'll be $20 by then. So then I'll buy Elden Ring 2. I don't know why people buy games so early. You know what I mean? Like, you can wait. It's the same game. Some of the best games I've ever played were games that were several years old already and were cheap. Like when I bought Far Cry 5. Far Cry 5, one of the best games I've ever played. Beautiful game. Far Cry 5, one of the best games ever. The sound score, the story was absolutely freaking amazing. Absolutely love the story in Far Cry 5. You fight this evil Protestant cult. It's just beautiful. It's a thing of beauty. And the music is so great, and the way that they presented the cult in Far Cry 5, it was just perfect. All the different dimensions and characters is so good, that game. I could not get enough of that game. One of the best games I've ever played, Far Cry 5. Such an amazing game. And when I bought that game, it was like 20-something bucks or something. Because by the time I bought it, it had been, I think, 2 or 3 years old. So, great game. Wonderful game. Um, I bought Bannerlord. Uh, what's it called? The second Bannerlord game. Blade and whatever it's called. Sword and Blade or whatever. Mountain Blade. Bannerlord Mountain Blade. I bought that game when it was several years old, and I bought it for, what was it, like $20 or something. Great game. Wonderful game. I bought Elden Ring a year after it came out. I didn't buy it immediately. And it was and I kind of regret getting the damn game. I wish I would have just discovered the soundtrack, and I would have been happy with that. But no, I discovered the game, and the game's okay, but the soundtrack is better than the game. What else is there? Yeah, Resident Evil Revelations. Great game. Wonderful game. Doesn't really get the credit that it deserves, but it's a great game nonetheless. And I bought that game years after it came out, and I got it. Yeah, it was like $20 when I bought it. Wonderful game. It's the same game, guys. You don't need to buy a game right when it comes out. Now, if it's a game that is part of a universe that you've been playing since your childhood, and you're so excited you can't help it, I understand that. Like when RE4, the remake came out, I bought that damn game. I didn't wait. I'm buying that damn game. It's so good. But usually for games, generally speaking, I'll just wait. You know, when Halo 2 came out, everybody was losing their mind over that damn thing. And I never really understood. I guess Halo 2 is so popular because Halo was so popular because it was sort of it was a game that really changed the industry. It was one of those industry-changing games. It was one of those watershed type games because it changed a lot about first-person shooters and all that stuff. It had a lot of influence. Like RE4. RE4 is one of the most influential games ever made because it introduced the world to over-the-shoulder shooting. You know, that over-the-shoulder camera perspective. No other game really had that before RE4. And RE4 is such a masterpiece. And RE4, to me, is the greatest game ever made. I love RE4. I played that game when it first came out back in 2003 or 4. And it was just a masterpiece. Leon Kennedy, the president's daughter, and the music, and the merchant, and Ashley Graham, and she's so fine. I mean, it's a masterpiece. Yeah, RE4. So when the remake came out, I said, "Hot damn, I'm gonna play this shit." And I didn't really want to watch that much stuff on it. I did watch the trailer, but I didn't really want to go beyond that because I wanted to play the game and be surprised. And I was not disappointed. RE4 remake was really good. I really don't like how they made the Ada Wong level a separate DLC that you have to pay for. That shit just pisses me off. In the original RE4, the Ada Wong, there's a word for the level. Separate Ways. I think it was the Separate Ways. It's called Separate Ways. Yeah, Separate Ways. Yeah, the Separate Ways side mission was something that you got with your purchase of RE4. So you bought the RE4 game. It was a 2-disc game for the GameCube, I remember. And then once you completed the game, you could play the Ada Wong side mission. And it was a lot of fun. It was called Separate Ways. So after playing the RE4 remake, I was wondering about Separate Ways. And then they said, oh yeah, there's going to be a Separate Ways game, but you got to pay for it separately. And I'm thinking, what the hell, why? You know, before it came with the game. These gaming companies are getting more and more ridiculous. Before, you just bought a game and then it came with a bunch of goodies. And now you buy the game and it comes with goodies, but at a price. And that just sucks. The Chicago typewriter, absolutely. One of the greatest aspects of RE4 was the infinite rocket launcher and the Chicago typewriter. It was an amazing thing. It was such a cool gun, and you mow down all your enemies with one shot from the Chicago typewriter. And it was a lot of fun because you could, even though it had infinite ammo, you could reload it. So you get that cool mechanic, that cool visual of watching Leon reload the gun, and then you walk right into the village that terrified you in the beginning, and you're not terrified anymore because you have this machine gun that's infinite ammo. And hot damn, you just mow down all your enemies. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. The problem with the RE4 remake is that they made it more difficult to get the Chicago typewriter. And in the initial video game, all you needed was 1,000,000 pesetas, and I think you had to play the game in hardcore mode or professional mode. I don't remember, but I remember you had to get it. You had to get 1,000,000 pesetas. Now they doubled it. They said you need 2,000,000 pesetas to get the unlimited rocket launcher and also you need another 2,000,000 pesetas to get the Chicago typewriter. So what I'm doing right now is I'm doing my third playthrough, and I'm doing it in professional mode. And my goal is to get. I have enough weapon. All my weapons, if I sold them all, they would all be worth 1,000,000 pesetas. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play through the whole game in professional mode. I'm not gonna spend any money. Well, I might spend a little bit to repair my knife and my bulletproof vest, but other than that, I don't want to spend any money. I'm gonna just accumulate the money and keep accumulating it until I get 1,000,000 pesetas, and then I'm gonna sell all my weapons, get 2,000,000 pesetas, and then I'm gonna buy the infinite rocket launcher, and then I'm gonna mow down all my enemies, get another 2,000,000 pesetas, buy the Chicago typewriter, and then mow down all my enemies again with the Chicago typewriter, and have a lot of fun. I think I played the RE4 game, the original game. I think I played that game like 8 times, just over and over again, playing that damn game, just having nonstop. I don't know why, it was so fun. There's something about it, just the environment, the fog, the cold, creepy, eerie atmosphere. You walk into this village, and it's like the beginning of a really good horror movie, and just there's something about it that just makes you warm and fuzzy inside. And there's something about just going into battle with an evil cult that makes you feel so cool. I don't know why, but it's just amazing. Did you ever play Red Dead? Yes, RE, yeah, yep. RD, R2, yep, I played both of them. The first one and the second one, both great games. I would say the second game was really good. Red Dead Redemption 2 was an amazing video game. It was really like a super long... It was like watching a 4-hour-long Western movie, but it had such good characters, such amazing character progression, and character development. It was unbelievable. And Dutch's character was the best. I love Dutch's character. You know, it's about faith, Arthur. It's about faith, and it was just done so well. And how Mr. Martin goes from being this thug to being this person who has compassion, and it's just an amazing story. The Resident Evil remakes have been really good. I really liked the RE2 remake. I did like the RE3 remake. It wasn't as good as the second one, but it was good. A really underrated video game that did not get the favor that it deserved, in my opinion, was Resident Evil Revelations 2. If you have not played Resident Evil Revelations 2, I would highly recommend that everybody play that game. It is so damn good. My favorite Resident Evil games, RE4. My second favorite is Resident Evil Revelations 2. I think that is the best Resident Evil game after RE4. And it really captures that spirit of a horror movie when you play it. It's so good, guys. It's such a good game. Great memories, absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. Have you been playing Mass Effect? I've never played Mass Effect. Separate ways, more like separate pay. Yeah, exactly. HOI4 mods create amazing soundtracks. I don't know what to do. The Remedy Doom Eternity 2 has been fun, but I can't jump on. I have no idea. I never played Doom. I went to the midnight release of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 when it came out in 2009. Damn, dude, that's ancient times. You a Doom fan? I've never played Doom, ever. Never really had any interest in playing Doom. Doom has no interesting story. There's no interesting story with Doom. It's like an arcade game. It's like the game that you would play in the arcade that you would put quarters in the machine, and then you would shoot aliens or some shit, and eat before you eat pizza. It's just, there's nothing really... When I play a game, the game needs to have a story. It needs to have a story, or it at least needs to allow you to form your own story. Like with Bannerlord. With Bannerlord, you can form your own story in that game. It just needs to have an interesting story. And it needs to have intrigue and music and dimensions of emotion. It just needs to have all that good stuff. Far Cry 5 was a masterpiece. One of the greatest games I've ever played. Such a great game. I can't say enough about it. It's fun playing fighting games online with people all over the world. Yeah, I'm sure that is. I've never really gotten in. The only fight game I've ever gotten into was Super Smash Brothers. Elden Ring and Dark Souls are so different from other fantasies. They don't have a lot of the fantasy BS from D&D. I really want to play Dark Souls 1 and 3. I heard Dark Souls 2 sucks, but if I ever get done with Elden Ring, I'll play the Dark Souls games. They look really good. Did you see Gladiator 2? I did not. I will watch Gladiator 2 eventually, but not now. But I heard that it sucks. Is it good? Witcher 4. Yeah, I heard Witcher 4 was announced. I've never played the Witcher games, ever. I've heard a lot of good things about them, though, but I've never played them. Doom games are about shooting demons. That's fine. I have no issue with that. But there doesn't seem to be a really interesting story in Doom, other than you're just mowing things down, a million miles per hour. They need to do a remake of World of Warcraft. Yeah, update the graphics, make it look interesting. A really good game was Gears of War. Gears of War 1, 2, and 3. I've played all the Gears of War games. 1, 2, 3, and played 4. They were all just amazing games. Yeah, I love the Gears of War games. I love the over-the-shoulder camera angle, and love the music, love the story. These monsters take over the planet, and you're fighting against them, and it's just so much fun. The Thing was also good. The movie, the old school movie. Yeah, I watched it years ago. It was a disturbing ass movie. I love the MMO game Age of Conan, brutal game. I heard about that. The Gears of War was a fantastic franchise. Yeah, I know. The whole game, the whole world was amazing. And the graphics were so good in Gears of War, and just the shooting mechanics and just the visuals of it. It was a work of art, and the story was really interesting. You got these like grub monsters wandering around. They shoot at you, and you shoot back, and you got this big ass machine gun, and you're just mowing these guys down, and you're fighting these evil creatures. And just the layout, the art design of the game was so good. Like the cities are all depressing and grimy and dismal and eerie looking, and it just the game just immerses you in this environment of just dread, and you're fighting the evil that created all that dread, and it's just so well done. Gears of War, such a well done game. 28 years later, yeah, that I saw the trailer for 28 years later. It looks really good. I'm gonna watch that. I saw 28 days later. It wasn't too great. It was okay. Warhammer, I really want to play Space Marine. That looks really good. But that reminds me so much of Gears of War. It looks like Gears of War. There's several games that I want to get. I want to get Dark Souls 1 and 3. I'll probably play 2 as well. A really good game that does not get enough attention is Metro Exodus. If you have not played Metro Exodus, highly recommend it. It's a Ukrainian video game, and it's just absolute masterpiece. The music, the voice acting, the story, it's just absolutely beautiful post-apocalyptic game. I love dark, gritty aesthetic games. Absolutely. I love doomerish games. That's what I want to see. I want to see the sad reality of life reflected in art. So that way I can look at, or I can face the dark reality of life with the feeling of consolation that art provides. I have not played Rainbow Six since I had a GameCube, since I played the GameCube, and that was back in like 2000 and the early 2000s. I'm too old to remember the exact dates, but I have not played a Rainbow Six. The last time, actually, no, that's not true. The last time I did play a demo game that was a Rainbow Six game, so I guess that doesn't count because it was just a demo. But the last time I played a full Rainbow Six game was in 2000. I want to say in 2003, and it was a Rainbow Six game for the GameCube. Now the Rainbow Six games were cool. They were kind of difficult because they were one of those. Rainbow Six was one of those games where if you got shot one time, you were dead. That's pretty much what it was. So you had to be really careful, and when you opened a door, you had to make sure nobody was around the door. You make sure that when you walked through the door, you weren't going to be an easy target, and you had to breach the doors and use flashbang grenades and all that stuff to disorient your enemies. And it was like a SWAT team simulator. That's what Rainbow Six was. Heard a lot of praise for Metro Exodus. Amazing game. They delivered everything they promised since the announcement without any delays, by the way, which was very unusual. That's amazing. I did not know that. But I played Metro Exodus was the first Metro game that I played. That was my introduction to that world, and it was such a beautiful game. You really got familiarized with the characters. There was a lot of horror in the game. There were there was one part of the game, and this is my favorite part of the game. There's one part of the game where you're in post-apocalyptic Russia, and you're in Russia after a major world war. Russia's been nuked, and you're trying to survive. That's the context. That's the world of Metro. And there's a part of the game where you're in this train, and you're trying to find a better place to live. So you get into this train. That's why they call it the Metro, because your character lives in the Metro, in an underground subway system. So you get in this train, and you're trying to find a better world. And so you eventually stop in this one area, and these Russians come out, and they say, "Oh, hello, comrade. Hello, privet, privet," and you think that they are your friends, and they take you to this area, this lair in the mountains somewhere, and they're a bunch of cannibals, and they literally want to eat you alive. It's a cult of cannibals. And it is the most horrifying part in the entire game. It's the most intense and horrifying part of the game because you're running through this area. They take you deep into their lair. And so your character doesn't know how to get out. And these people are trying to eat you. And you're seeing like chunks of human flesh hanging like aged meat, and it's horrifying. It's so horrifying. And these guys are trying to eat you. It's the scariest part of the game. It's the most horror-esque part of the game. All the girls left the chat. I don't think there were any girls here to begin with, to be honest with you. I think according to YouTube analytics, about 4% of my audience are women. The first World War II game that I ever played was Medal of Honor on the GameCube. It was an amazing game. Medal of Honor Frontline, I remember that game. And then there was the sequel, which was Medal of Honor something, I forgot, but it's where you fight in Japan. It's an amazing game. You fight against the Japanese. There are a couple of U.S. Marines in the Exodus, by the way. Yeah, there's an American dude who's with you. There is the Thing game for PS2. I did not know that. I didn't know there was a Thing game. Did you play Pokemon Red? I played some of the Pokemon games on Game Boy. I had Pokemon Stadium on the N64, and I played that to death. I played that game so many times, it's ridiculous how many times I played that game. Unbelievable. I could never stop playing that game. It was so addictive. And I could never fully beat that damn game. I would make it all the way up to the final match in the stadium, and for some reason I would always lose. No matter what, I would always lose. The computer would just find a way to make me lose. Because you're going against the computer. And so what I never liked about Pokemon Stadium was you'd make it to the final match to compete for first place, and then your opponent is there, and you shoot lightning bolts at the opponent, and then all of a sudden it said, "Hey, you missed." I mean, it's completely arbitrary. How do you not miss? There's no aiming system in the game. You just pick your attack. And then the computer does the rest for you, and then the computer would just decide that you missed, and then you would miss, and then the guy would attack you, and then you would die. And then you would lose and have to start all over from the beginning. It was just a very frustrating game.